Good afternoon, family. Good afternoon. I'm Curtis Cheatham Jr., and welcome to This Week in Black America. And here's a rundown of this past week's highlights. There was a complicated prisoner exchange between El Salvador, Venezuela, and the U.S. that we will try to unravel this week. The Epstein saga refuses to die despite the administration's best efforts to distract us. And now the courts are involved, and we've got the latest. The president tried to ambush the Fed chair regarding renovation expenses, but those pesky facts keep getting in the way. We're going to get into it. And we collectively mourn the loss of a pivotal portion of our youth with the tragic passing of Malcolm-Jamal Warner. We honor the fallen king today. All that and so much more coming up on This Week in Black America. I am pleased as punch, as they say, to have my brother with me. Brother Deshone is here with me. How are you doing today, brother?
I feel great. We, you just said something. We lost a legend. We're going to take some time with our co-host and, talk about him and as well as a lot of other things. But if you're new here, we're here every Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern time. This is the place to be if you're busy and you just didn't catch up on what happened. This is where we catch up on what happened this week. And we like to do it in an in an entertaining way. We do a lot of laughing here. We invite everyone who's here to enjoy the dialogue. Don't be afraid to comment. Let us know where you're watching from, because without you, the show is really no fun. So welcome. Hit that like button, and because it does matter, brings more people over here. And if you got a friend who loves to talk, who loves to think, shoot the link to them. And we're live on Facebook, the Brother Deshone page. We're live on the Hello Black America YouTube page. And welcome. So let's go, Curtis. We got a lot to discuss, man.
Absolutely. A lot going on. And we're going to start with the kind of the oldest story. Doing the show Friday to Friday. Sometimes, as we've discussed, we get a lot of content that comes in on like Friday afternoon, over the weekend, and then it's I guess a little older story. But as we got off the air last week, we the news in the evening news was reporting this big prisoner exchange. And I'll be honest with you, it's taken me some time to try and work through this because it's a little complicated. It involved the United States, of course, Venezuela, and El Salvador. And, El Salvador, of course, has been in the news because they had this big CCOT prison. That's where Kilmar Obrego Garcia was shipped off to. We know about that. But there were a bunch of people that got caught up in this. And now, apparently, the U.S. got 10 of its prisoners back from Venezuela. So 10 people, U.S. citizens, or, people who are what's the term? They're not granted citizenship, but they have status here in the U.S. 10 of those people were brought back to the U.S. 252, I believe, Venezuelans who had been shipped out to El Salvador were then shipped from El Salvador back to Venezuela. And then there was some releasing of some political prisoners and things like that. So, in the end, they say it took months that it was going on. It was a little complicated. It took me a few days. I was drawing maps and well, wait a second. Prisoners came from here to here. And then wait, how many went from there? And so I was trying to figure that out this week. But I'm sure you've heard of the prisoner exchange. It's been about a week now. But good news, bad news. What are your thoughts on that front?
Sure. Prisoners... coming back, great. How'd they end up there in the first place?
See, now there you go asking questions. There you go asking for facts that we don't need involved in this story. Come on.
That's what I mean. Like, how I'm so worried about what's happening when it comes to people being detained and deported. And I know that there's a great group of people who are working to get these people back once they're deported. Mm-hmm. But is this going to continually be a round of musical prisoners?
It is. I was just reading a story this morning about alligator Auschwitz They've shipped out about 100 people already from their little prison down there, and shipped them off to a third-party country. So, it's still going on. They're not saying much about it. They're doing it quietly in the dark, but as the book says, what's done in the dark will come to light eventually. So.
Come on. Now, let me ask you a question. How do you think we look at the, are these rumors true about migrants being thrown from planes? Because there's so much happening that I don't know. Did anybody here co-host? For those of you who are in the studio audience, you're not an audience. You're the co-host. So once you dialogue, you'll see we'll bring it right into the show on the screen. Are you guys hearing rumors that some of these prisoners, depending on the plane they're on, are just being thrown into the water?
Yeah.
I mean, they were saying that they found bodies washing up with shackles.
Right.
So we have no idea what this secret police called ICE is doing. They now have up to $30 billion a year budget. So we're going to see the numbers of the resources of ICE increase like crazy after the big, beautiful bill was passed. That took ICE's budget from around $10 billion a year up to 30. And so we have no idea how many people they've snatched up, where these people end up, We know
nothing about them. Nothing about them.
Shout out to the people who are working to get these people back but what about the hundreds of or thousands of people who don't have anybody working to get them back? It's just, I don't even know. I don't know where we can start to, of course, good news, couple people coming back. But it should never happen. It would be much more, I don't know. It would have never happened. We know, hey, it would have never happened if I was president. Well, it's happened. All right, anyway.
Yeah, I guess it's something we should be happy about. But to your point, the fact of the matter is that our recklessness is what kind of got us into this place. Our being just wanting to get something done, just in a hurry to have motion done. So he's just being impetuous, and that's what we see here. And now, they're scrambling to try and undo, I guess, some of the damage that's been done. Maybe it'll buy them a few points, because right now, this administration is really trying to unburden itself from this whole Epstein saga, right? They ran on the whole Epstein thing. I, for one, wasn't really engaged with the whole thing, but it's just a problem that won't go away. And so the more that they try and tell us there's nothing to see here, the more of an appetite the American public seems to get. And this is Republican, Democrat, it doesn't seem to matter. In fact, I think the Republicans are more anxious to see what's going on with this file. And the point is like, if there's nothing to hide, what is the problem? And so you can definitely infer that there maybe is something to hide, and that's why we're having such a problem. Any thoughts on that? I mean, even the Wall Street Journal. Now, pull up your chair, get your popcorn ready, because when you got a couple billionaires going at it, which we saw earlier with Elon and the president going back and forth. Now we pulled Rupert Murdoch into the fray, who is another big-time billionaire who also has the power of the media at his behest. So Trump filed a $10 billion defamation lawsuit over some reporting that the Wall Street Journal had done relative to some birthday letter he had supposedly sent to Jeffrey Epstein years ago, which apparently had been verified by, what's her name?
Pam Bondi?
Woman in prison, his partner.
Ghislaine Maxwell. Yep.
Yes. So she apparently at some point verified this letter because she put together some sort of memory book maybe for Epstein that included this letter. And of course, the president is saying it was fake. Maybe that's why they had the meeting. The Department of Justice had a 6-hour meeting with Miss Maxwell. Maybe they wanted to get her story straight. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
But the one thing is for sure, this is getting good. I mean, I'm tempted to get some popcorn myself.
Oh yeah. This is the case everybody wants. Co-host. Let's take a poll. You guys want the Epstein files? Yes or no? Let's just see who we got because and shout out to Bonita King Chibo. Good to see you, brother. Pamela, great. Miss Dorlisa, love to see our co-host checking in. When we look at the Epstein files, again, like you said, they ran on it.
Right.
Would you release the JFK files? Yes. Would you declassify the MLK files? Yes. Would you declassify?
Well, they did that.
Yeah, and they did. So now here's the one that we haven't seen, and you and I were laughing before the show because now it's like they threw the MLK files out, like, hey, here, how about this?
Some red meat for you. See what MLK was doing. He was cheating on his wife. He was this, whatever.
This will buy us some time.
Yeah, nah, that didn't work.
It brought you
we saw right through that
20 minutes.
Nah, bros. And then of course Bernice King, I love her. She was real petty with it. Okay, now show the Epstein files. And we see the co-host checking in, and Pamela asked, will the files bring justice? They may. They might. We don't know what's in them. We got to find out, right?
Not if it's Trump. Listen, there's a reason why you never see the KKK and the police in the same room.
Ooh, woo, woo!
The same people. So if
shots,
we firing shots early.
Oh, so maybe that's the wrong sound effect for the police because that's what they do. But anyway,
if the people who are supposed to be prosecuting President Trump or the Department of Justice, they already know. If we're talking about the Epstein files bringing justice, then these people, some of these guys' names are in it, so it's like there's a ton of people's names. There's no way this many government officials could be on the same page of not sharing something that the public is demanding, and it's just one guy they're trying to protect. That just wouldn't make sense. It's got to be because again,
he's a big name guy,
right?
He's a pretty big name guy.
But how many people did we see with Epstein? We saw Democrats, and then you saw high level people. Prince Charles. You're gonna tell me there's no Republicans in there? Again. Alleged. I'm just speculating. This is not I don't want nobody Deshone. No, this is just speculation. How are we this adamant? You mean to tell me that there's no Republican that wants to release these files?
They have been. They've been actively saying it now, though. That's the problem. And that's why last week, the president was like, the only people that want to see this are stupid people. And, he's doing all that but those are calls from his own party to get these files released. Senators, representatives, all alike. Now it's not. They're not all saying it out loud. They're not. They're still cowards. but
what I'm saying.
Some of them are still willing to say now that, hey, I want to see it. Why don't we just release the files?
That's what I'm saying. Marjorie Taylor Greene was big on, hey, the people need transparency. The people want transparency. What I'm saying is Trump is not the one that's stopping the files from being released. It's the team. It's the team. It's a group of people. Pam Bondi's involved. There has to be several people. Trump is not, the files are not in Trump's briefcase that he keeps with him all the time. Like, hey, I'm not giving you the briefcase. No, there's tons of people seeing these files. So, my question is, how could there be so many people who've seen the files? And if they're truly not trying to, so all the people just want to protect Trump?
Well, they're protecting themselves, really. I mean, sure, Trump would get some protection, but they are protecting themselves from the wrath of Trump. That's what it seems like. They're scared that Trump's going to come back on them one way or the other if they start making too much noise. And there are plenty of the people that are kind of fearful of the repercussions that might become them if Trump gets them in their sights. But we're going to see. He certainly has shown a propensity for pettiness, which generally I admire, but the way that he's doing it is a little problematic. Shout out to Get Black with Me.
Yes.
Good to see. Get back. And bring in
And
guests.
brought a guest. Bring in
that.
a guest. Talk about, listen, this is the buddy system we need. You know, look, welcome,
each one bring a friend. That's
Miss
right.
Dorlisa, each one bring a friend, because this is, oh man, shout out. Get Black with Me is such a huge part of this show. Absolutely. She's really in the show. She doesn't know. She's really in the show. You know, we might have to just get a still image. Send us an image and we'll just put you, even if we just say, you know, permanent co-host. So welcome. Happy to have you. But
she said,
no, he can't
they're
run
destroying the files, they say.
Absolutely. That's
somebody
what
in their file
saying.
room now.
Because last week, he took the role of saying, if they, you know, hey, you know, Biden had these in his hands. So that was his attempt to say, whatever y'all find out, just know Biden had it in his hands. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, when the guy was arrested, you were president. So if anything should have been done or talked about, it should have been done in 2019. You know, so, you know, again, but it doesn't look like he can run from this one.
We're going to see.
Get
Black with Me makes a great point here without making it. Now they need to shut up Ghislaine, right? Am I saying that right?
Ghislaine. That's fine. Ghislaine. We know what you're talking about.
I don't know. Miss Maxwell, whatever. They do, like, listen, I'm just going to put this out here. Let's not be surprised or act shocked if all of a sudden she has some sort of medical issue, or she decides now to end her own life.
God forbid.
Quote unquote. Because like you said, there's a lot of hubbub. There's a lot of talk, little scuttlebutt, and she's kind of the loose end, I would think, because now with Epstein being gone. So we're gonna see. I mean, get your flavored popcorn.
Yep.
Have your beverage of choice. And let's just sit back and watch and see what happens. You know, everything's unraveling around us, and we're watching this in real time. So, but
front
this
row
is
seat.
one thing that'll be interesting to watch.
Agreed.
Yeah, and one of the repercussions of not just dealing with this Epstein thing, but the president has been putting pressure on all types of entities. We saw Colombia this week acquiesce to the president and pay out some huge amount of money. I just can't even believe it. Over what, 200 million? Something like that. It was a crazy amount that they settled.
Million, I think, was the exact amount, or 210 million paid to the Trump
million between friends. You know,
normally you see, this amount was paid to the federal government. The Trump administration.
No, this is going into his pocket, I believe. Frankly. These are going into some offshore account in his name, I would imagine. But so CBS, who's actually one of my favorite entities for news, because I do watch like the Sunday morning show. I do enjoy that, and 60 Minutes. So the two Sunday shows, they are very well done, very good reporting, professional journalists usually doing the shows. So it was ironic, you know, CBS had gotten sued because of the way they did because 60 Minutes did a story with Kamala Harris at one point, and they complained about the way it was edited, and they sued CBS. CBS eventually basically settled because they were trying to get some things done between their parent company and the government, and they needed the FCC to be on board. So one of the things they did that caught a lot of eyeballs this week was they canceled The Late Show. The Late Show, and this time was with what's his name, Stephen Colbert.
Stephen Colbert.
Yeah,
highly rated.
Yes, you know, I don't watch the late night stuff since. I mean, I guess I used to watch Letterman a little bit, but you know, I got better things to do at that time of night, I guess. But anyway, they canceled the show. Canceled the show, talking about it was too expensive. They said it was basically a money issue, which I found ironic because then they turned around and signed the South Park franchise up for $1.5 billion. But I digress. So many people are attributing the fact that Stephen Colbert got canceled to the fact that he basically went off on CBS for bowing to the Trump administration, for acquiescing to their administration and bowing to their demands. And then, next day somebody tapped him on the shoulder. Yeah, we don't have the money to we ain't going to be able to renew this contract of yours next year. So sorry, not sorry.
Coincidentally. After you criticize the boss, the pink slip comes. Or listen.
Sounds a little like retribution to me, but
I'm convinced they think that we're idiots, or they just think they can get away with it. It's one of the two. Maybe it's a little of both, because we used to care about that phrase, "You're insulting our intelligence." It's like now I don't think you're really to the 100th power insulting our intelligence if you think we don't understand what's happening in the series. It's like we always say, you remember the Cat Williams joke?
Yeah.
He's going through Hollywood and he opens that door, people doing drugs right in front of me, like, yo, I can see you, right?
I can see you, right?
I can see you, like, I think they're thinking these are the days where, I guess, big mainstream media controlled everything and they controlled the optics.
Right.
They still think we're in that day. Meanwhile, everyone has a camera. So we can see the series of events. We saw him, criticize the moves for Paramount cutting Donald Trump a check for $16 million.
Right. Exactly.
Publicly, spun it into a joke. Very funny guy. Whenever I see Stephen Colbert's clips, they're always funny to me. But it's no coincidence that in fact, I don't know if we even have that clip, but if we do, Meraki, let us know. Shout out to Meraki Media. We got to continue to let you guys know the reason why we're looking so good and sounding so good is because we got Meraki Media in the background. Without Meraki and Mickey, we just be a bunch of guys that sound good. Hey, I like to listen to these guys, but I don't want to watch them. So
hello, Black America.
Production quality done went up a notch. But Marak, you have that clip? If so, maybe for those who didn't see it, if you can play a little bit, just play a little bit of this clip that you got up here with Stephen Colbert. This is Stephen Colbert responding to the Late Show cancellation. All right. Hang on. Oh, let me unmute the tab. You might need to come. All right. If we can't get it on, then we can't. It says you got to unmute that tab. So, but it's no coincidence. It's not a coincidence that, we saw this happen.
What's really
and
happening,
then,
and of course,
okay, here we go.
Had to have some fun with this. CBS News correspondent Michael George is here with me in studio with how exactly they did that. So many people upset by this news. Michael, good morning.
Yeah, Errol, but it doesn't look like Stephen Colbert is going to pull any punches here. So if you spent any time on social media since Thursday night, you've seen the comments and the hot takes. But yesterday, outside the Ed Sullivan Theater, not far from us here in New York City, people protested. Critics have called the move to cancel Colbert's show and the Late Show franchise political. Paramount, CBS's parent company, maintains that it was a financial move, saying, quote, it is not related in any way to the show's performance, content, or other matters happening at Paramount.
They don't usually protest for unpopular shows, Curtis.
Exactly.
And recently criticized Paramount's decision to settle a lawsuit over the editing of a 60 Minutes interview. Paramount has maintained the suit was completely without merit. The company is working to finalize an $8.4 billion merger with Skydance Media.
There we go. Okay,
FCC
so we can pause that there, Mariah.
Just got approved.
That just got approved
today.
So
wow.
So that's the whole chain of events. Just so we understand, it's easy to see the first step, and if we're not following the money, as they say, follow the money. Oh wow, the 16 million gets cut to Trump. Colbert gets fired. And then we get a merger that we needed FCC to approve right after.
It's a coinkadink, as they might say.
Everything's for sale in America, ladies and gentlemen.
Listen, we're having a fire sale here in America. You can get whatever you need if you just bow and kiss the ring.
That's
And plenty of people are willing to, apparently at CBS, to be sure. Now, I just want to move on to the next thing here, because this is a little bit, you got to wonder about the leadership of this particular company. This went crazy last week. It was a big thing. The tech CEO, I know you're aware. You had to see the memes last week at the concert with his boo all hugged up. And and then they did I don't even know, it seemed like a kiss cam that they do at games sometimes, but they focused in on this couple in the audience all booed up. And then you see him jump out the way real quick. And the lead singer for the Coldplay band basically said, either you're really shy or you're having an affair. Ding, 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 ding. It was the second answer. And listen, the people went wild. And you know the internet. First of all, before I give you my hot take on this, I know you saw it. Any thoughts initially on him bringing his boo into this space? And do we owe them privacy because they were having this affair in broad daylight? I don't know.
Listen,
I just want to hear your thoughts on that.
People's personal lives are their personal lives. I'm only thinking from the perspective of the company he works for. We got to let this guy go because he's just not smart. I know we hired him. We thought he was smart. Guy was, book learning, super, hey, came in, passed the interview, might be doing a great job, but he's not as smart as we thought. If you are going to go out in public in 2025, be in an arena, they have these, it happens at basketball games too. You can tell the people because they'll do, you're not just embarrassed to be on camera when you're sitting next to, you're with somebody's wife or you're with somebody's husband. So, people's personal lives are their personal lives. But
then why make them public? Don't make them public is what I say. Listen,
don't make them public. Go
ahead.
He
got the money. He could have went to a nice, intimate little restaurant. He probably could have had Coldplay play a private concert for him. He probably had the money to do something like that. So, you go to the concert, you with your boo, you all hugged up, and you up in the rafters where the cameras can see. In this world where literally everybody in the audience has a phone with a camera on it that can instantly show this image anywhere in the world, and you choose to go to this concert. So a couple days later, he did resign after the flat. At first, he tried to, basically say it was a privacy thing, and people should be able to be have their own privacy and carry on their own affairs. And I think he actually used the word affairs, right, which is ironic. But listen,
it's the audacity of it.
There you go.
And you could tell when something's been happening for a minute. You start to get a little too comfortable. When you're first sneaking, you don't mess up like that. You're first sneaking, I would think you're not, but you could tell even from the woman. Maroc, pull that shot up again. She has the whole gray, the little,
the memes were relentless.
This isn't a new affair. This is not a new. They've been rocking with each other for a minute to where they're almost at, hey, listen, well, why don't we go out in public together now? They work together.
Yeah.
Okay. So
she's the HR head for the company he worked for.
Listen,
she's an exec as well.
Hey,
so
every now and then, and look, you shouldn't have to do this, but if you ever get that intuition, just pop up at work. This is it. Just pop up at you. Listen, I thank God I've been with the same woman 19 years. One time in my entire, and it was me. It was me. It was early, maybe year 3, and I'm in this insecure. I popped up. Hey, what's up? Like, hey, what's going on? I'm just at school. What you doing here? She was in school. But after that, but if you're at home and it's been 15 years, you start getting some feelings. You're like, hey, stuff not looking. you know, you might be totally wrong or you might be right. Just pop up. Pop up. You know, don't let somebody get so comfortable at work that they never see. Oh, she hasn't been here in 12 years. No, pop up today.
She's been pretending to go to work every day for 12 years now. I don't know.
Oh, my wife never comes. I mean, you know, pop up at your husband's place of work or pop up at your wife's place of work if you get those feelings. You know, don't, because if this guy's having an affair with the HR person, then, you know, how often was she coming in? Just, you know, anyway. I don't know.
Basically every day, I would imagine.
I mean, the wife.
That's
did
what
they?
Did
they see the wife? You know what I mean?
She's chilling. She's at the spa, getting her nails done. Maybe I don't know. She might be watching some kids at home. I doubt it. Maybe with the nanny. Who's this? Yeah. Now is this the HR person?
That looks like the wife,
or is this the wife?
The HR person had the gray
like. Okay.
Yeah,
the wife's not a bad looking woman. I mean, why are you? Okay,
they don't do it because their wives look bad.
Well,
in fact, it's a step down. I mean, that might be a bad picture, but if you had a concert, come on, with a rich
proximity. Right. This is just easy for him. He's probably spends a lot of time at work. The lady don't look bad to him. She's there. She's about it. He's about it. He probably spends 12 to 15 hours a day at the job. You know.
Well, if I'm spending 15 hours a day at my job, I'm moving my wife in 3 hours.
Well, he did. He moved. He had a substitute. He had a substitute brought in.
No, you don't have to be here. I got to get my wife in office.
Yeah,
you got 3 hours a day. Just come hang out. I don't care if you're sitting there. I need to come see you. But you know, we got different values. So
apparently there are different values in this world. Speaking of different values,
Anita in the building. Good to see you, Anita.
Anita,
co-host. Shout out to the co-host checking in.
Yes, we love our co-hosts, and you do make the show much more enjoyable. So we appreciate that.
Absolutely.
So this past week, you know, we started to hear an uptick on things about former president, 44th president of the United States, Barack Hussein Obama. Now, listen, we know that Barack Obama lives. What? I'm sorry.
I'm just telling you, I'm about to get mad. I'm just warning the co-host because this. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that's what we want. We trying to get you riled up.
Nah, I'm about to get mad. They went after Michelle for 3. They went after Michelle for 3 years, and now they coming. You know, go ahead. Just tell the people what happened.
Listen,
what's been happening.
We all know that that Obama lives rent-free in Trump's head. We know this because he cannot stand the fact that this black man had the audacity to be so good in every facet of his life. He's a high achiever. He got into Harvard, which of course the president couldn't get into, nor could his son. And he was actually the head of the law review at Harvard, outstanding student by every account. And of course, Trump couldn't get in. Let me see. Is that why there's having this problems between Harvard and the new administration? I'm not sure. It may play a part. But anyway, they're starting to ramp up the rhetoric around the 2016 election, which I guess bipartisan support for the fact that Russia actually played a part in the election of Trump's in his first administration. Now, this is a bipartisan thing. They went into these investigations. They ruled that there was collusion, basically, by the Trump administration. I don't think they necessarily were saying that the Trump administration initiated it. No, I don't think that was the allegation, but the allegation was the fact that Russia had played some part in colluding to influence the election because they wanted Trump to be president. Now, there was, to my mind, there was no inference that Trump had any part in that, but the allegations came out nonetheless. And now here we are, 8 years later? They're starting to bring up this stuff again and trying to, I guess, say that somehow Trump was trying to, that Obama was trying to circumvent the will of the people, which I just find ironic since we still know that January 6th happened, right?
And they're calling this treason.
Yes. They're trying to position it as treason. And because they're saying that they were basically trying to circumvent what the people had elected, or the way the people had voted in that election. Well, first of all, there is the thing that just seems really hypocritical and ironic, is that the one group of people that we know for sure that actually tried to circumvent the will of the people was the Trump administration, because they sanctioned and encouraged the January 6th riot that we all saw play out on our televisions. What are you thinking about why this is coming up now? Is this more distraction? Is it just trying to point? I heard somebody say it's trying to point his base back to the fact that the real enemy is the black guy. And we don't want them to forget that with all this Epstein stuff going on, we don't want y'all to forget that the real enemy is the black guy that wore the tan suit. So I think when we consider the fact that President Obama today, if he ran, would win, absolutely,
that just they can't get over that. And I take Trump every day seriously, because what I'm seeing him do is things that he said he was going to do that people said, oh, he's just playing, that's Trump, he's just talking. Right. When he said something, when he was talking about President Biden's pardons, he said something that was, and I called you and I think I told you how cryptic I thought him saying this was. The day that President Biden handed out all the pardons, including for his son, Hunter Biden, they asked President Trump how you feel about it. And he said, hey, all of this, what's so bad is, he pardoned everybody, but he didn't pardon himself. And if you really think about what he's saying there, all right, I'm coming in and I'll come after him, because why would he be worried about him not pardoning himself? Mm-hmm. Who else would convict him? Who else would pursue him other than the incoming president? So when we hear about him saying these things about President Obama, it's like, who could be in my way? Even if I go crazy and people start talking about me, and I got the Jasmine Crockett's of the world, I have these independent content creators, okay, I can handle them. But who could be the biggest voice that would actually be able to rally the people against me? That's President Obama.
Right.
So the opportunity to file up charges to potentially put him in jail, I don't take that as a threat. I take that I take that as if we can do it, we're going to do it.
Yeah. And, Trump, I think that this all came about because we were starting to see Obama speak up a little bit more about some of the stuff that's been going on, how it could be maybe unconstitutional or things like that. So that's probably also played a part in why he got back into their crosshairs again. So yeah, they're worried about any kind of criticism that comes their way. They're going to meet with some sort of opposition, and the opposition now that we're seeing is they're threatening all this DOJ treason stuff. Now that part was bad enough, but then the depravity of a sitting president to show a video, an AI video nonetheless, of a former president, like basically being arrested.
Yep. In
the White House.
Meraki will cue that up.
Yeah.
Check this out, guys. Go ahead, Curtis. Continue, because there's no volume to it. We could just watch this atrocity in the background here.
The depravity of it is that, first of all, it's a former president. Second of all, you cannot be so tone deaf as to understand the the context of black men and the prison industrial complex in America, and then you feeding into that by using this AI generated publicity stunt, really, to denigrate a former president, one of the most popular, one of the most astute presidents we've had, and you juxtapose that against one of the biggest buffoons we've ever had sitting in the Oval Office now. So, it's problematic on a lot of different levels. Of course, it's designed, I believe, to get black folks worked up and maybe get us to take into the streets about what's going on. But
that's a good point.
Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe.
Well, good. Get Black With Me just made a good point. And Anita, I'm going to read your comment too, because this is really good. Yes. She said that Trump himself is he got the Supreme Court to rule that no sitting president can be arrested for crimes committed in office.
That's true.
Doesn't that allow President Barack Obama to have essentially immunity for whatever they would be saying he did?
Well, of course, they would say it didn't cover him.
It's like when hey, listen, y'all know contracts in America look a little bit different for black people. Let's just the fine print. We got a little clause in here. You didn't read that clause. If you're black, it works a little different.
Listen, there's some great co-host comments in here we got to get to.
Some great
co-host
comments. I want to read a couple
Good.
because Anita said 47 allegedly raped a 13-year-old girl. That his daddy paid off her family. This has all been coming out. You can hear this all throughout social media for the last couple days. Allegedly.
It's in the public forum.
One of the Epstein victims committed suicide 4 months ago. Since that White House Correspondents' Dinner, he has lived rent-free in President Obama. Exactly. When he destroyed Trump at that White House Correspondents' Dinner, you can just see the whole room laughing at Trump and Trump not laughing at all. But we were talking about this, Anita, the South Park. So South Park gets how much, Curtis, through this Paramount deal?
$1.5 billion they got.
1.5 billion. Billion with a B.
With a B.
And directly after the check clears, they launch they start clowning Trump on South Park. So shout out to the people who get your extortion in. If you can cut a deal and then still tell the truth, then still tell the truth. But check out what South Park did. Directly after the Paramount deal. So Paramount won. They end up syndicating, making the $1.5 billion deal for South Park, and then South Park launches an attack publicly on Trump. It's the most beautiful, it's a great series of events. Get Black With Me said, we just read that. GOP grand old pedophiles.
Oh, man.
Now I'm not going to be able to get, because you know what? I'm gonna that GOP grand old pedophiles is gonna stick in my head, and I'm gonna tell you why. I don't even know and don't judge me. I don't even know what GOP stands for. So in my mind,
party.
What does it stand for, Curtis?
Grand old party.
Oh, grand old pedophile is way better.
And maybe more accurate.
Yeah, that's way better. If you would have said something like government officials, whatever, something grand old party. No, y'all grand old pedophiles here. So, since that AI video of President Obama, the death threats against him had exploded through the roof.
Yes, we were talking about that before the show.
Yep. Go ahead. What you want to elaborate on that?
No, it's just dangerous because there are groups that do monitor death threats against the president, and for a 3 or 4 day period when all this started happening, they noticed a marked increase in the number of death threats coming in against Obama. Now, just pray for that nothing happens to Obama, because I don't want to see something happen to that man, and because I don't know that Black Americans would not that
no, we lose it.
We would lose it, but because not that he's a leader for all Black America necessarily, but he represents something to Black America, and if if were something to happen to him, it would be problematic. And I think there will be a lot of people willing to, unfortunately,
turn up,
do something.
No, it'd be a lot of crashing out.
Yeah,
there'd
absolutely.
be a lot of crashing out if, God forbid, something happened to President Obama. And I think we need to understand that what we're seeing in the White House now is not the way a White House works. Congress declares war. Congress writes the check, signs the check, writes the laws, makes the laws. So when we look at what President Obama did concerning his, some of his things, again, nobody's perfect, but we are not really seeing the fact that Congress is the one that makes a lot of the things happen or keeps a lot of the things from happening. And we all know who owns our Congress. So just because there was a black president in who wants to do different things, it doesn't. No, we got an old Congress in. But you said something. He represents something that is not tangible. We can't really put it in words. That's why, when he was up there, people are crying. He represented, we never seen a black man sitting up here. We never, and even if you didn't want to be president, if you saw President Obama, you could go be a lawyer. You could go start a business. This black guy's president. What can't I do? So, he represents a lot, and God forbid something happens to him. I think that would be catastrophic for civil,
unrest would be at an all-time height. I'm sure.
Definitely. Even if they try to put him in jail, and you said this, you've been saying this before we move on, that their goal is to pull us out. Right. And their goal is to get us out of the house. We're chilling. We watching what's happening. We not with the daggone. We're not with that out there. Right. But their goal, they are trying very hard, is to get us to come out, protest, march, tear stuff up, riot, loot. That is the goal. And we're not falling for the banana in the tailpipe, like you said. So
absolutely.
But that doesn't mean they're not. Then they're going to stop trying, and they might keep turning things up to try to eventually get it done. So
I think that is intentional. And Depeche Mode has been kind of going in here. All public information. We're not breaking any news here. This is all stuff that we've all heard in the open forum. Talking about Howard Trump's interview with Howard Stern, when they were just basically talking about how young was too young to as far as girls, and the creepy stuff that he says about his own daughter. There's some pictures of he and his daughter back in the day when she was much younger, which just are creepy to me. I mean, as a girl dad, I'm like, what in the world is this?
We're both girl dads, and we know girl dads.
Yes.
Any girl dad any father Curtis, that would take a picture with their daughter like that. Anyone? Nah,
it's just cringy. It's creepy, cringy. It's definitely giving freak vibes for sure.
And then later you say, she's good. Hey, if she wasn't my daughter, I'd probably be dating her.
I'd probably be dating her. And that's just because he couldn't say the real word that he wanted to say. He wanted to say he would be having sex with her.
We understand.
Right.
So again, like you just said, Depeche Mode, welcome. We need you here because I love the dialogue already.
Absolutely.
This is not breaking. Everything we're saying is in the public domain. And so I think it's just hitting the fan. And if there is a big group of people, though, who are into children, and we suspect that there are and have been for a long time, then this is a large group of people trying to protect themselves and Trump. So that's why.
And I find it ironic when you start talking about conflicts of interest. For me, so we talked about Ghislaine Maxwell earlier being questioned by the Department of Justice for over 6 hours yesterday. And do you know who actually did the questioning?
Wasn't it Trump's lawyer?
Yeah, it was Trump's former personal lawyer is now in the DOJ, ironically. Wonder how you got that job. And then now he's the one basically interviewing the loose end, who is Ghislaine Maxwell. So I don't know. It just seems a little fishy to me. You know, it stinks like fish, so I think it's fishy. Something's going on.
We see you. Just know we're gonna keep talking about it.
Meraki,
put up that creepy picture. Meraki, throw that picture up again. Listen, let me ask all the men and women. Come on, listen. Throw the picture up again of President Trump with Ivanka when they're young.
Oh boy,
this is level 1,000 weird. So this is come on. Yeah. If I was with a person, because I know a lot of guys who have kids, and this is not the picture you take with your daughter, brother.
No.
Like, it's so anyway. I think again, we always say what's done in the dark will come to the light, and it just seems like we have a lot of darkness that is coming to the light, and they are trying to hide it, But it's coming. It's like when you got 80 every time, in the boat, it's 80 holes, and you're just trying to fill the holes, and you can't fill all the holes, brother. Like, we are gonna watch because I have no idea how he gets out of this. We call him the real Teflon Don. Nothing seems to stick to this guy. He can maneuver himself out of anything. This is going to be tough because this does not seem to be going away. Yeah.
And what I've always heard, and I go back to Nixon, right? I mean, I was a kid. Like, I was a kid when he said, "I'm not a crook," and resigned. But what I've always heard and has proven out through the years is that the crime is usually not the thing; it's the cover up. And we are seeing here a huge amount of energy being expelled to try and cover this up. Whether it be removing his name from the file, whether it be meeting with Maxwell to try and find out what she knows. There seems to be a lot of effort going on to try and insulate the president from something that he says he didn't do or that he had no part in. So why are we spending all this much energy, time, what have you, to try and keep this record out of the public purview when he's saying that it's all fake, right? It's nothing to see here. So let's see it. That's all. I mean, come on. Anyway,
before you cue up the next story,
okay.
Depesh and Get Black With Me is in the chat.
They're going in. I love it
because she said, and this is 100% fact. If you pull up a picture or video of Marco Rubio, the dude looks like he is being held captive. He literally, every video, me and my dad was laughing about this. We like, yo, what they got on Rubio? Because he does not look happy. Dude look like every video is a hostage situation. And I gotta be here. And we don't know, like, I think we might see in the next couple years, maybe sooner, him this might have been a game from the beginning because Trump knows anybody who says something about me, my whole plan is to hire you for a little bit, make you very unhappy, and then I'm just going to cut you off publicly. Like, I'm only doing this to dump you later. And but I just me and my dad laugh about that. Look at Marco Rubio, every video. Dude's never smiling. He could be talking about an accomplishment, so-called accomplishment. Dude looks very under duress at all. Look, that's the face. Meraki put a picture up.
He's trying to, I think he's trying to remain, maintain the facade of a true politician or a serious politician, if you will, when he's really part of a clown show. So he's trying to play the straight man so that hopefully he can remain unscathed and have a political career beyond whatever Trump's, if there is any politics beyond Trump, because of the way things are going, politics may be a thing, politics as we know it in this country may be a thing of the past. But the fact of the matter is, it seems like he's just trying to play the role like, I'm the real serious politician in the room. And because, Trump legally can't run again. Now, what's legally to a 34-time felon, but legally he can't run her. So something else has got to happen. And I think maybe Trump is not Trump, Marco. What did Trump call him in the first time? He had names for everybody. Marco.
He's not the one that said had little hands.
No. Well, that's Trump.
Oh, that's Trump. No, yeah, Trump had the little hands.
Oh, I did a thing about that. Them digits, I used to call them. But anyway. But yeah, it seems like Marco's just trying to remain above the fray. And hopefully in the end, he'll be able to somehow parlay this into some sort of expanded political career, maybe even run for president.
Wait till they see that Trump ain't leaving.
Yeah. Well, Little Marco, that's what he used to call him. That thank you, get black with me.
Little Marco. That's right. Wait, this is not the guy. All right. Anyway, let's go. Anyway. Let's move on.
All right. Let's
and I'm sorry,
Christy
made a great comment, and I just want to pull it in one time and then cue up the next story. Christy Waterford, welcome. When you think that all the presidents that held slaves were at best pedophiles, and they were the creators of this government, and the fact there is an age of consent makes pedophilia a modus operandi. Okay. Love our co-host. Love our co-host. See, we got a quality co-host. Like people who you got to be quality to hang out here. You know, like strong. You know, they were already molesting the slave, our ancestors, the children, all of that. So this is in the DNA. So I just wanted to pull that in. Go ahead, Curtis. What we got next?
Listen, this is the most awkward transition ever because yeah. Anyway, all right, let's go into it because let's move from the foolishness of Trump to a far more serious note. And I know many of us in our community are still saddened by the loss of a part of our childhoods. Now, I was a little older at the time, but we all remember the great success of The Cosby Show. And part of that success, the only other consistent male part of the family, other than Cosby himself, was the son, Malcolm-Jamal Warner, who played the part of Theo Huxtable. And unfortunately, this past week, we found out that while vacationing in Costa Rica, the child actor unfortunately drowned, lost his life. And it's just sad. You know, my house, it was a bit of a sad day. You know, we're watching Cosby shows all day long, just because, more so I would say for my wife, just because the age gap between us. She was a little younger and had a more pivotal, the Cosby Show had a more pivotal or impactful role in her life, as others who are like maybe the next generation down from me. But I think all of us have fond memories of Malcolm-Jamal Warner from that show. And I didn't know it at the time because I haven't followed his career closely. But the more that I found out about him and his passing, he seemed to be a really cerebral man who's, had a high level of thoughts and was doing some things for the culture and for our people. So rest in peace, rest in power to Malcolm-Jamal Warner. Thoughts about the 54-year-old tragic death this week, Brother Deshone?
We are huge Cosby Show fans in this house. We have 2 DVD sets. When Bill Cosby first started going through his stuff, you know, and they were taking the Cosby Show off, we made sure we ordered the DVD sets. And then a couple years later, we ended up ordering another set because we couldn't find like 2 of the discs or something. You know, it's something about those DVD sets. I feel like you're going to lose 2. And that's, to get you to order another one. Blame somebody else. Listen, you lost it. But we, every vacation when we drive in the car, we got the DVD players. We're playing the Cosby Show. You know, both my girls, huge Cosby Show fans. And, I remember what's crazy is I remember saying like, yo, we got to get the DVDs because, you know, we got to support Theo.
Right.
I was like joking with my wife, like, you know, obviously Sandra, because I'm like, look, Bill's good. You know what I mean? Whether he's in jail or not, you know, Camille is good. You know, it's Theo that needs those residuals, and Vanessa and Rudy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it was horrible. You know, it was one of those things where you're just like, no. I'm just like, you know, when she sent me the picture, my wife texted me. I'm like, nah, man, nah. Because you know, I don't know where, you know, where'd y'all know him from? You know, obviously, I think most people, Anita said, I never missed an episode of The Cosby Show.
Mm-hmm.
Get Black With Me said, never missed an episode either. And, you
Did
know,
you see the video that Anita's talking about with Malcolm-Jamal Warner, like
in
the
the
last,
airport
when he was talking? Yeah, it was sad. It was sad.
Was it the one in the airport, or did he make another one? I saw one that was in the airport.
I think that was the one that I was referring to. Maybe Meraki might be able to find that. But
yeah,
you know,
a very talented man will be missed. Go ahead, Curtis.
No, and I didn't realize just how talented. He won a Grammy for what, some sort of R&B performance. I don't even know what that was all about, but I know he was big into the spoken word stuff.
Major.
He would go and like research stuff before he would actually like do a spoken word project about it. So he was very again, very cerebral, very heady kind of guy. And the thing that's impressive, you know, oftentimes, you know, what was he, 13, 14 years old when he was doing a comedy, the Cosby Show? Yeah. A lot of times we see young people who are like stars. You know, they have problems as they grow up, because maybe he was old enough at 14, maybe he's well-formed enough. And obviously his parents did a great job of making sure he was grounded in that he was able to, you know, he grew up into a responsible person, a responsible family man, a responsible young man who cared about his people. So absolutely.
And his father named him after Malcolm X.
You got to love that.
That was the reason. So, and he said something. He said when he was growing up, he came back to his dad and said, "You set me up," because he realized that his dad said, "Damn right," because his dad gave him a name and created a standard that he had to live up to. And a lot of us, you know, struggle with that, but he didn't. You know, he lived up to it, clean, you know, strong, masculine, sensitive, you know, humble, right. Just, you know, everything that you want to see. And which is why this blindsided all of us. You know, we all feel like we've lost a family member, you know, and I like what Depeche Mode said. He's about Bill Cosby. Is it fair to separate the man from the artist? Is it fair to cancel his work? I think you're 100% right. You know, we have tons of people whose shows are on right now that if we, you know, I mean, let's just, again, goes back to the standard for Black people. That is, you know, are we going to cancel everything that Weinstein produced or made? Let's just get that off the air.
Yeah.
You know, but again, I think Theo, whether you knew him as Theo, I used to watch Malcolm and Eddie with him and Eddie Griffin.
I remember.
I didn't get into ER, but I hear people, I mean, anybody watch ER? I hear they love.
No, it wasn't. Was it ER? There was some other medical show that he was on. I don't think it was ER. That was after.
I don't know the name.
ER was before his time.
Okay, I don't know what the name of it, but this medical show that he was on, people said he was great in that. So again, I've never seen him not good. And there's several. His spoken word is crazy. Like you said, the way he, you know, he's not just getting up there on some, oh, this dude just does poems. He is literally speaking. He can play the bass guitar. Like the dude is was an incredible talent. And like everyone in the chat is saying, we're certainly gonna miss him.
Yeah, and it's sad. And you know, I know a lot of us travel, and I mean, we're here in Jersey, so you know, we have the shore down there, but just really be careful. You know, we're still in the summer months. If you're traveling to some of these places, these rip currents are no joke. And that's reportedly what happened. And I've just been reading up on it because, are you a swimmer? Do you swim? Or can you swim? I'll just put that out there.
Just the thought creates trauma in me, bro. I have you know what? I have a buoyancy issue. I have a
You're too
buoyancy
muscular.
issue.
You
Wait,
need
hear
to be
me
on
out.
the rotund team like
Hear
me.
me out.
You can
Hear
float.
me out. I have a buoyancy issue. You know, that's all I got. I know what's not for me. You get what I mean?
Black folks, we got to do better. The earth is 3/4 of water. We got to learn how to swim, people. You got to learn how to be
called not
comfortable
being
with the
grateful
water.
for the 25%. 3/4? That means God gave me 25%.
Yeah, you got 25%. But in all seriousness, you know, if you're out there in the ocean, first of all, if you want to swim, go to a pool. That's for me. Listen, if I want to go swimming, I'm going to the pool. First of all, I'm not going in the ocean because I've seen far too many drone pictures now, this being Shark Week, of sharks swimming in the water, unbeknownst to the people who are swimming in the water right nearby. So that's one thing. Then you got these rip currents, which you don't really see. And I'm starting to read and understand that you can actually, there are ways to see what's going on. But the problem is with these rip currents is that somebody gets taken out by the tide. And if they survive that part, then they try and swim in and they're swimming against this rip current and they get tired and you can't protect yourself and you basically stop being able to swim. You're too tired to swim and you just go under. Just for information purposes, if you ever find yourself in that situation, try and relax. That's the first thing, because let the water take you where it's going to take you. When you get to that place, they tell you to swim according to the parallel to the coastline until you get out of the current and then begin to swim in diagonally. So, you know, it's just sad. But you can prepare yourself for this sort of thing, especially if you know you're going to be in a place where the ocean has these tides coming in. You should be aware of and understand what rip currents are, because maybe even if you're just standing in the water and you think you're just standing in the water up to your waist deep, it can take you out if you're not. I mean, the rip current can still take you out to sea if you're not careful. So, yeah, and as Meraki showing, you can kind of tell the way the waves look. They say there's a difference between the waves, the way they look in a rip current. Either the water is either looking calm or it maybe have that foamy stuff going on. You know, there are different ways to be able to tell. Anyway.
Well, yeah,
I'm no swimming expert. I just want us to be safe. I just want.
Yeah, and I think that's been a lot. There's been a lot of awareness, as you said, for the last couple of days since we lost our brother, with just what to do in these situations to try to, if you ever find yourself in it, come out of it. So, but yeah,
thanks,
Anita said yes. Thanks, Pamela. It was the resident. She said he played AJ Austin, a triple board certified surgeon. And from what I heard, he played it well. Anita said, please learn to swim and never swim alone. Yes. I nearly lost 2 people swimming. Wow. It's real. You get what I mean? Like, it is very real. And, just be careful. Like, again, I'd stay in the pool. I can swim, but I can't swim above water. So I got about 30 seconds of good swimming. That's all I got. Because I don't know how to breathe above water. So,
well, listen, it's something you should learn. And shout out to my mom for making sure that my sister and I went to the YMCA and learned how to swim. Shout out to my swimming instructor. I believe her name was June. Listen, teach your kids how to swim.
Yeah, and that's why I purposely taught my kids young, because I wasn't taught young. Nothing against my parents, but yeah, definitely. I'm all for learning to swim. And maybe at some stage, when I want to do some side quest in life, I will just go and take some swimming lessons. Y'all keep me in prayer. Let's move on, Curtis. I'm already getting.
All right, quick, proud dad moment. taught my daughter how to swim, had the lessons, the whole bit. We were at a friend's house at a pool, just hanging out. And their daughter, who was only about 4 at the time, was in the water, like legit drowning. And I was so proud. My daughter jumped in, who was a few years older. She was maybe in her early teens, jumped in and saved this girl. Like, we were just sitting there talking. We didn't even realize what happened. She had already jumped into action because she knew how to swim. And I was like so proud that she was prepared for that and actually was able to, not that anything, somebody would have, I got to imagine somebody would have realized what's going on and saved the child because she's in college now. But
no, listen, that's your daughter saved her.
Yeah, she was the only one that jumped right into action. So shout out to my little girl. Who's no longer a little girl.
Teach them young. Yeah. Teach them young, That's a skill that, again, I wish I would have learned, and I will. Again, with swimming and heights, 2 things that I just be like, man, Deshone be real confident till swimming or heights is brought up.
What else? Spiders?
No, I do well with it. Wildlife too.
None of that?
Wildlife. Oh, God, y'all want to see me? Y'all want to see me freak out? Let's start. Oh, goodness. Oh, it's a harmless deer. No.
Right. Oh, goodness.
What else we got, Curtis?
All right. We're I don't know. We're gonna circle back to this, but we actually already hit this. Bernice King being petty with the Epstein files. She's like, yeah, y'all want to put the Martin Luther King files out? Okay. Now put out the Epstein file. So I don't think we really need to revisit that. But I always enjoy pettiness. So I like to point it out when it's when it's being practiced at a high level. Bernice King's just saying basically, now you got it out of your system. Now let's get the Epstein stuff out as well.
Anything in those Martin Luther King files that are not. I mean, we're not going to tear down one of our leaders. Is that something?
I had no interest in it. I mean, we know the stories, right? The rumors, the whatever. We know that Martin Luther King was a man. He was a flawed man like all of us, right? Or mankind. So
we're not going to stand for them tearing down the leaders that we have. And again, like we're not putting leaders through a microscope. If we were, 99% of the white leaders would not be. They wouldn't exist.
Listen, if we're going to start evaluating leaders, let's start with George Washington and move our way on down.
Come on.
And like you said, 99% of those unmelanated leaders would fail on
Absolutely.
the character.
Get Black with me. Get Black with me wants to know, where's the trade deals?
Now, Get Black with me. You brought that up a little bit earlier. Now, I must say, I think there was one trade deal. I wanted to be clear. I wanted to make sure we were accurate. They supposedly made one trade deal with Japan, and the report that I read about it was basically the same trade deal that they already had, but they did sign one trade deal with Japan, as I understand it. So let's be factually correct. Unlike our administration, we want to deal in facts.
Well, we know the price of eggs is down 400%. So
400%.
So if you understand that at those numbers, whenever you go get eggs, they should give you money back. So just so we understand, when prices can't go down more than 100%. If it goes down 100%, it's zero. So when a person gets up there and says, eggs are down
400%,
400%, it's actually negative. That means the price of eggs is now negative $4. So every time
we're giving you $3 every time. Every time you buy eggs, we're giving you $3. Okay. Listen, somebody said our president is smart. It wasn't me. Trust me, it wasn't me. Anita telling the story of being out on the hiking trail and confronting a deer and deciding that the deer should have that route and decided to detour.
I don't know deers and they don't know me. We would listen, every time I walk outside, any animal, it's you got it, right? It's your world. It could be a raccoon. Now a cat, a raccoon. I go out to take something. Hey, all right, listen, I guess I'm not supposed to be out here tonight. Hey, listen, it's your world. I'll come back and bring
This
this
is not my
garbage out
ministry.
tomorrow.
Anyway, let's get off of the raccoons and the wildlife, and let's go to wildlife of a different type. As we saw police deputies, sheriff deputies in Florida, I believe it was this week. Social media was a big thing. You saw the young man that got pulled over for apparently not having his lights on during inclement weather. That was the big crime. He didn't have his windshield wipers on, or I believe it was during. It wasn't raining. He said it was just kind of overcast, I guess. And anyway, he got pulled over. Now, we saw only a bit of what was on social media. We saw him talking to the police, requesting a supervisor. Then the next thing you know, we see the police breaking his window, him being completely calm, at one point showing his hands, even as they were breaking the window. But we also see the officers reaching in, punching him in the face, pulling him out of the car, continuing to punch him, although there didn't seem to be much resistance offered. Now we're used to this. We've been seeing it for years, and we've been seeing it on camera since the Rodney King stuff back in the 90s. So we've always known that this kind of exists in our communities. But now we're seeing it on TV or seeing it on camera. And once again, we have now a black sheriff saying that don't believe your lying eyes, basically. Don't believe what your eyes saw. Everything was according to, no laws were broken. Once again,
run that short portion back. Come on, run that short. But look at this. For those of you who are watching on YouTube right now, just Meraki's queuing this clip up. They literally break the glass.
And he doesn't even shield himself from the glass. He's just calm, quiet.
Yep. Rip him out of the car. You can see them pulling his head in various directions, pulling it, I think it looks like somebody's pulling his hair because he has dreads. You can just,
and not to mention, this is the part that always happens in the background. I noticed it. Stop resisting. That they're constantly yelling that so that it sounds as though you're resisting. We saw the man not resisting. You pulled him out of the car. You made the violent action. He did not. And then the coon sheriff. The sheriff saying that that no laws were broken. Then maybe the laws need to change. Because if what we saw was all legal, then the laws need to change. Because clearly a person who is not aggressive, clearly has his hands up, calm in his demeanor, articulate in his discussion with the police officer, they weren't interested in none of that. Because they have this complex or this thing that they are above the law, that they have the final say. And that's not the way it should be. But anyway, that was a terrible thing going on in Florida, and we see it far too often. Your thoughts on
this
the guy getting punched there?
This is America. William McNeil Jr., clearly a very calm, restrained, has a great deal of self-control because you're dealing in a situation, somebody punches your glass and breaks your driver's side window. The glass comes right in, hits you in the face, his hand, and then he punches you in the face. Now he ate the punch. So, yes. I wish he would have just said, bro, you weak. Something, but we could all see you ate that punch, bro. So, but they rip him out of the car. And it's just it's not going to change. So again, and look, y'all know, I'm very big on jointhecall.org. The only reparations that you can talk about reparations to stay. That's fine. If anybody who's got a legitimate case of reparations to stay in this country, I will support you. I will absolutely support your fight. But the jointhecall.org proposal is reparations to leave.
Absolutely.
Give us our money. You stole us from a land. Let us leave so that we can go back and build in partnership. U.S. first. We're not looking to be your enemies, but we understand what y'all are trying to do here. And when I look at the fact 100+ years of progress that our ancestors have made is been unraveled in 6 months. How long do you think it took them to get to get these bills signed? This was years and years of marching and protesting and legislation and getting no's to get these bills signed into law that we are seeing unraveled in days. So you want to spend the next 50 years trying to do it again, trying to do what your ancestors did already? God bless you. But the laws are not going to change here, and they're getting worse as we speak. The cops are more brazen and more in your face. And I said to you earlier, and the co-host, y'all probably said it to your family. If this is what's happening on camera, what the heck was happening before there were cameras?
Yeah.
We can only imagine.
Well, we know the stories have been prevalent in our communities for years, long before cameras. We knew what was going on. And so, we're seeing it again.
Let me add one more thing. Hold on. One more thing. Don't forget your thought, Curtis. I thought of something really, really crazy as I was watching this video, right?
Mm-hmm.
Think about this. We saw, Breonna Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
Breonna Taylor, 33 months. And I know we were going to talk about this, but I think this falls in line with kind of where my thinking came in. And it's pretty disturbing. So I want to share it with you all because, maybe y'all can help me through this. If we are arresting a Black person and we let them live, the penalty, we might lose our job. We might get suspended without pay. We might have to go through this whole lawsuit, all of this stuff. If we arrest them and let them live, we got a multi-million. We got Benjamin Crump coming in. Oh, here's Benjamin Crump. He's bringing Sharpton. Oh, here we go. We got the news cameras. Meanwhile, we ain't got footage from our brother in Alabama, and he's been gone for 2 months.
Yep.
We don't have body cam footage of our brother who was murdered in Alabama, and it's been 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's just look at the mindset of the offender here. If I take this person out the world, chances are I get off. Chances are we can hide this. We can make up a story. We can fabricate a story. But if I let them live, we got all types of mess coming. Here we go. Here we go. So the thought crossed my mind for a minute, Curtis, that if they're thinking like that, they would rather take us out at those traffic stops.
Well, they have been. They have been.
Without penalty.
Right.
And the more we see people get able to kill our brothers and sisters, no penalties, the more it's like, you know what? What? Do y'all see where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
This is I'm gonna do wrong, but for a high level of wrong, a high level of abuse, taking you out of this world, my penalty as a police officer is potentially less than if I let you live.
Yeah, that's a scary thought when you think about it, but it's certainly possible. Although, shout out to Ben Crump, he will get you your money. He'll get you your money. he gonna get you paid. I don't think
if you live.
Yes. Well, he'll get the family money if you don't live. He's proven that as well. So, but you're right. That's just one less witness. You're not there to tell your own story. Then you're depending on, digital cameras or whatever else kind of proof that we can have. But you're right. It takes away one of the better witnesses when the person that it happened to is not available to testify or to tell their story. So, yeah, sad but true. You might be right that it's better to take them out and deal with that than to have to deal with a real live person sitting in front of you with bruises and whatnot.
Trial lawyer, Ben Crump, Here comes Sharpton, lawsuits. That all comes if the person's alive.
Yeah. Well, and that's a picture there of the sheriff's deputy, I believe. That which one was that?
I get
What
this guy off
picture
the screen.
we looking at here?
Off the screen, daggone.
That's one of the ones that punched him. Or we got a couple. Or no, that's the Breonna. Okay, that's the Breonna Taylor guy that got sentenced. The Brett Hankerson.
All right, man.
So he's so far, Breonna Taylor killed in her house. Only one police officer got any kind of prison time, and that's this guy, Brett Hankerson. He went to prison for her civil rights violation, not for murdering her, but for violating her civil rights, and he got 33 months. So now we're basically saying the life of Breonna Taylor is basically not worth more than less than 3 years in prison for taking her life. And, what are you going to do? That's where we are, unfortunately, in these days.
Anybody see that? You see the video of Sandra Bland going viral over the last couple of days? Did you see that?
No. Again, I mean, just was because the anniversary of her. I know the anniversary of her passing was just recently in the last week or so.
Her Black Lives Matter, her video speaking out for Black Lives Matter. I saw somebody shared it. It was going big like 2-3 days ago, and you could just see because she's talking about how they keep killing our brothers and sisters. That's the irony of it. You get what I mean? Like the irony of watching her just speaking out, and then she's a martyr. Y'all listen. You gotta look. My mother said something because we got little disagreements on kind of what happens after you die. It's small. Okay. She believes there's a judgment, but she said something maybe a year ago. Hey, well, listen, we all get to come back or something. She said, and I said, Mom, what kind of righteous God would? See, you thinking about you. You're trying to be all right. You're trying to be a good person. So coming back again, get another shot, fix the things you didn't, do right. All right, cool. But you telling me people like Chauvin gets to come back and do this thing over? He gets a do-over. There's no judgment. So the only thing the righteous have is the belief that there's a judgment.
Yep.
The only thing that the righteous can have, people who are trying to do the right thing, trying to love their neighbor, trying to be right, and you see wicked people who seem to thrive, seem to be getting away with murder.
Right.
We don't have to say, for lack of a better term, and you just got to believe that there's a judgment. You have to, or you're going to take the judgment into your own hands. And I think a lot of black people we leave it to God. We say, okay, God's going to judge y'all. Because if we didn't, these jokers would be not here. There would be unalivings every day, justified. Soon as this dude come out, 33 months in a day. Hey, been waiting for you. Bye. Yeah, you're out of here. So anyway, just sucks, man. Breonna Taylor, Sandra Bland. Don't start
naming names. We'll be here for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
We'll be here for the rest of the day.
Our martyrs. They are martyrs. There are martyrs.
Got too many of them to count. Unfortunately, there was a black father out in California. The sheriff's deputies ended up handcuffing him in front of his 10-year-old and 8-year-old sons for running a stop sign, basically. So, there is no. We have to put some responsibility associated with these folks that are tasked with us protecting us and serving us, and we need to call them to accountability. This is not a job that we can have bad apples. We can't have bad apples.
How do we do this?
We got to figure it out.
We gather the people here. We gather you here on Fridays to talk about solutions. I'm getting angry. I saw the people posting a video of ICE coming in with Matt, and this morning before the show, they arrest a guy who is legit a translator. It has supported the American military overseas for years. He's a translator. They're arresting him, Curtis. They are arresting him. He has assisted our military for years. And the people, do you have a warrant? Show the warrant. I'm like, stop asking them if they have a warrant. They don't have a warrant. They're not going to show the warrant. Do something different. Cory Booker, brother, I'm happy that you are an outspoken brother. We don't need any more videos, bro. We see it. Do something. Do something. What are y'all talking about? We don't need to see any more of what's going on. Hey, we just want to record this so y'all can see what's happening. We see what's happening. Do something. I don't want to keep talking about the same things. I'm sorry. That's my rant.
Listen.
You know, I told y'all about the 90-minute mark. We start to get loose. We started. I'm so upset. I'm so upset. We have the power. They've been telling us for years. We have the power. At this point, we are watching. Go ahead. All right, Curtis. Go ahead. Stop me.
Yeah. Get Black with me. Yeah, they beat down the father of 3 Marines. I had seen that story. They deported. No, I don't think they deported. They detained, I guess is the word, some guy. And his sons were Marines. And I heard the one son say, I wish I was there to help my dad. You know, yeah. Anyway, they don't care. They don't care about you. If your skin is brown, you are a target. Period. End of story. And let's we've been dealing with some serious topics. Not a whole lot left today. But I do want to get into some lighter stuff, at least from when you think of it in the context of some of the things we've been talking about. Black woman says that Spirit Airlines barred her from traveling on the plane because her outfit was, quote, too short. Now, as I read this, Spirit has apparently made some changes to its policy recently to as far as what is acceptable clothing on a flight. And they didn't let this young lady get on the flight saying that her outfit was too short. Now, I'm sure Meraki's going to bring up the picture of the young lady's outfit, which to me, I mean, I've seen worse, frankly. Sometimes you see traveling, I'm like, God, why are you on a plane with all your booty cheeks showing? I don't need to see all this. I mean, it's not like you're on a beach with you know, maybe they're already prepared for the beach. I don't know. But any thoughts on the black woman being banned from Spirit because or her outfit being too short?
Y'all see this? Mark, can you pull up that picture? I know you're trying. I see it. It's the article. Listen, y'all. Sometimes
if you go into the article, there's a click here for the picture somewhere in that article. It's right there.
Sometimes it's not other people's fault.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes it's not other people's fault.
Oh, look, yeah, that was it. Okay.
Look at this. Look, this guy. Look, we can't just. This is a Jussie Smollett. This says Jussie
now, she
Smollett.
She has his robe on, supposedly, on top of the outfit. I don't know how they they're not showing a good picture of it.
Yeah, no, they're not showing. If y'all see, the girl has on, it looks like she's going to the pool. So I mean, I get it. We you know, sometimes it ain't other people, and if
you can't really see her. I need to see the back picture because I mean, it does look like she has some short shorts on, but again, it's not as egregious as some of the outfits I've seen.
But the picture I saw, the reason why I say she didn't have the robe on, because the picture that I saw first did not have the robe on it.
Correct. Me too.
So being that there was a picture captured of her without the robe, then that just shows the robe was an after ad. You know, just throwing my little detective hat on.
All right. That's probably true.
So yeah. I mean, come on, y'all. Like, yeah.
Well, listen, first of all, first things first.
Everything is not because we're black. A lot is. A lot is.
And sometimes it's just because you're flying Spirit. I mean, that was her first mistake. Let's just go there. I'm going to call it like I'm going to call
it. Has anybody
flown
Spirit? Has anybody? Now, listen. I promise you I'm not going to judge you and co-host. Co-host, we're not going to judge. Anybody flown Spirit?
Not publicly, we won't. Privately, we may.
Now listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't take any of you for Spirit flyers. Our audience is typically a cut above the rest.
Listen, I understand. And it's not, I've flown like the discount airlines. I flew Frontier. I don't think I've ever flown Spirit. Maybe once, but I probably didn't have anything to do with it. I was probably
the chat's too quiet. I'm not liking this. Look, DCO fly. Hell no.
Hell no.
Look, all right. Christy said, I just want to know is who gave the airline the moral authority to judge what this woman was wearing?
I agree.
I don't wear it in public, but I'm not going to shame her. Now, here's the thing. If there's no policy, then,
there is. That's what they're saying.
That's the thing. If it's a policy violation, if it's in that fine print, you can't come on with this. You can't come on with, okay. Now, that won't make the headlines, clearly. But, let's get back to this. Let's get back to this real quick. Why is the chat quiet when I'm asking if y'all flying Spirit now? Come on, I'm not judging y'all. I'm not judging. Maybe y'all can share it with us. Like, no, Curtis, Deshone, y'all, you just don't know. It's actually, it's a good airline.
No, I've never heard good airline and Spirit in the same sentence. Never in life. So
okay,
I know enough to know.
I'm gonna leave that there. I'm gonna just assume that they're driving. Y'all are driving and y'all can't type. All right, no problem. I don't want y'all. Stay safe. Get Black with me said no, not yet. All right, good. All right. Christy said I don't. My husband can't fit in the seats. Okay,
well, listen, they don't. They give you only this much seat. You got about this much room, and that's about it. And then some of that's for your bag. But anyway, all right. I'm not bashing Spirit anymore.
Okay,
but they clearly put some clothes on. Wear some longer shorts if you are traveling on Spirit, because they have a new policy that won't allow you to wear those booty stranglers that you would want to be wearing. You can take the time to change once you get to your destination and get ready for your beach out activities. But anyway, moving in along this afternoon, and we're almost done, believe it or not. We actually are making our way through these stories very well today. But did you hear the story of this one's got me saying, so there's this is in New York, out in Long Island. Woman was getting an MRI this last week. I hadn't heard of this, and then my wife was talking about it, and I had to kind of look it up, and then later in the week I saw the story and read it. But there was a gentleman, a lady that was getting an MRI. Her husband was with her, but obviously not in the MRI studio with her. First of all, have you ever had an MRI? Deshone, have you ever had an MRI?
Only on my ankle.
Okay.
So I didn't have to go in. It just, my foot was in.
All right. So they just put that little thing on. But that machine, an MRI machine, is a very powerful magnet. That's basically all. It's taking a magnetic image of whatever body part you're putting in there. So they're very careful to make sure you take off all your metal, jewelry, watches, chains, anything that's metal. They have you take it off, put it in a little cupboard, lock it away. You cannot go into the room with any of that stuff on. It's a very well-known procedure for pretty much all, I would imagine, all MRIs in America. So I found it a little strange that, so apparently the lady gets her MRI, calls for her husband, or asks the staff to call for her husband to help her get up. The husband supposedly is wearing like a 20-pound, I don't know if anybody weighed it, but he had a heavy chain on, one of those big heavy chains that he apparently used to work out with, if I read that correctly. Anyway, they let the man go into this MRI room to help his wife with this chain on, which she says they've seen before. It's not unusual for him to wear this chain when he comes there. And the machine just sucked him up. First of all, why is the machine still on? Does the machine have a magnetic pull even if it's not on? That's curious to me. Second of all, why do you let anybody go into that room without a proper checking to make sure that they don't have any metal on, if indeed that's the case. And it's just weird. Now, I am going to also say that the woman seemed like she was protesting too much. She might have been setting up her lawsuit. I ain't gonna lie. I'm just gonna put it out there. She's setting up the lawsuit because she was
Already?
just like, she was carrying on a little. I mean,
5 minutes of mourning. I mourned over. All right, this is malpractice.
Listen,
My number is 201. Call, any lawyers? Yeah, we're what's the term? Litigious.
Litigious. We live in a litigious society.
We're a litigious society. We Ezel. Ezel. If you ever watch Friday,
I don't know.
My back.
I'm just gonna put it out there. The lady looked like she might not. Looked like she might have been okay to sacrifice her husband for the bag. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just gonna put that out there as a possibility. Allegedly. I'm not saying that that's what it is. I'm just kind of got that vibe when I was listening to it. So that was just me.
She's about to call the men. Hey, honey, come in here. Let me take my chain off. No, the machine's off.
Hide that chain underneath your shirt. You know how they bother you about that chain, and then call the man in there. I don't know. I don't want to say that she had this sort of mind thing in her mind when she called him into the room, but clearly somebody's at fault. Somebody's gonna get paid, and it might be her. I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna be her. Anyway.
Well, when you asked about the MRI, you just reminded me of something. So, okay, heights, animals, wildlife, enclosed spaces.
Ooh, okay.
So, I'm being vulnerable. I'm being vulnerable this episode.
You are. You really.
I do
really
not want to be in any enclosed space. One of my fears is somebody throwing me in the trunk.
Ooh.
So I don't like those machines where we got to go into the tunnel and all that way. It's 2025. Y'all didn't invent nothing where I don't have to go into this tunnel.
Yeah, they supposedly have the open air ones, but I don't know. I've never.
Okay.
I don't think
give me that. Give me that.
But listen, you think it's bad for you? I've gone and done several MRIs, and I had to go all the way in the tube, and I'm not a little dude. So them things are not made for people of my size. They're not made for the rotund tribe. And yet they squeeze me in there. You can't move if you want to. Where are you going to go? For me, at least. So anyway, engine number 9, MPJ Dirty Bird Dixon. Well, welcome.
Go.
Welcome. That's a mouthful.
Let's
What's
go.
up, Deshone? I only
Mr.
flew.
Curse.
Okay, wait. We got a confession here. I only flew Spirit Airlines once, and it was a bad experience, especially the landing. By the way, what an amazing show today. Well, thank you, engine number 9, MPJ Dirty Bird Dixon. I don't know if I need to say all of that, but I just want to give our co-hosts their credit when they chime in. I believe this is the new co-host. So
new co-host in the building.
Yeah, welcome.
And look, that part right there. If you would have said, especially the turbulence, all right, hey, it could have been just a bad turbulence. The landing,
Listen, I haven't heard.
It's only a couple things that could make the flight horrible.
And one of them's not landing.
Especially the landing
is really going to ruin the
indictment. Is an indictment against Spirit, for sure. Not the food, not the snacks. They didn't have good snacks.
They didn't have good snacks, and the plane didn't land. So I don't know. That's
man.
Anyway, shout out to Spirit. If you are flying Spirit, keep it to yourself. Don't tell your friends about it because they're going to clown you in this day and age. And I don't agree with it.
Ms. Dorlisa said the open MRI is still very snug.
Yeah. Is it? Okay. Well, listen. Well, hopefully I don't have to take any MRIs anytime soon.
Amen. We pray that nobody on here needs an MRI before they can invent something better where we don't have to go into some tube.
Good luck with that. So as we devolve even further into the foolishness on this Friday afternoon, did you read about the whites only group that are forming a gated community down in Arkansas?
I did.
So a white nationalist group has created this private enclave, and they're planning national expansion. They want to put these places all over the country. And of course, modern day civil rights organizations are calling it a modern day segregation. Local leaders condemn the group, but say the laws might not prevent it. What are your thoughts? I have some things that I'll probably share here, but what are your thoughts?
We don't want to be around y'all anyway. We don't want to be around you. Listen, the music, the food, the jokes, the outfits, bunch of, like, I'm telling you, it's going to be so vanilla.
It's going to be the rhythmless nation. It's going to be the unseasoned chicken. It's going to be the infestation of raisins in the potato salad. It sounds like the worst place on earth.
Right. So who wants to be there? Like, well, we want to create a club.
We want
to
now,
mind you, Curtis, this is different than a rich country club.
Yeah, these are not.
These are people who shopping at Dollar General and then coming and say, well, this is our community, whatever you got. What?
Listen, I can see them now chartering a Spirit flight to Arkansas from the local various mobile parks around the country to interject these people into Arkansas to live in these private.
No overalls in any of the stores. Always sold out. That's all they wear. Nobody wants to be around y'all. And so, I mean, goodness Lord.
Listen.
We are the flavor. We are the flavor. Your
and the only thing that they're going to do is sit over there and be mad looking at the great communities that we still have, that we've built, and that they're going to want to go over and burn down, a.k.a. Greenwood, and Osterville and Seneca Village and all the other ones that we can name and talk about.
Yeah.
They keep tearing down our stuff every time we build it anyway.
Agreed.
But
self-segregation could be a good thing.
They do it anyway. They do it anyway. There's a well-known Washington Post poll from years ago where 75% of white people identified that they have no affiliation with black people. They have no friends. They have no connection with any black person. So we know they self-segregate. We saw it. It's called white flight. There's a whole name for it. So when we moved into the neighborhood, they moved out. So why should we be surprised that now they want to go and make this unseasoned chicken community? And I'm fine with it personally.
Absolutely.
Listen, if y'all want to go and remove yourselves, I'm fine with it. Just leave us alone. Don't mess with us.
That's the part that they're not going to do.
No, of course not.
And again, that's why we don't look at we don't look at building again. If you're a community leader and you're not looking at how many communities we built that they've destroyed, then you're just not studying history. So even if you study it and see this is what they did, eminent domain, flooding, we wouldn't be able to move there. Right. Good credit, you could be building something amazing, and they're not going to let a bunch of black people move there. That's why they ask your race on the mortgage application.
I wonder who's doing all the work in this community. I mean, like at the restaurants, who's washing the dishes in this restaurant, in these restaurants in this community? Who's doing the yard work? Who's doing the landscaping for them in this community? I'm just curious. These are just questions that come to my mind. I want to know who's picking their fruit and their vegetables in the gardens and the fields out there, because they're going to grow their own food. I'm sure. They're gonna make their own raisins for their potato salad. They're gonna grow their own potatoes. Whatever they're gonna do. I just want to know who are they getting to do that work, because clearly more than 5 minutes out in the sun, and they might have some problems.
Ooh, the
But-
sun don't.
Yeah.
You had to put an exclamation point on there. 'Cause, you're right. This
Listen.
could potentially be the highest melanoma community we've ever seen, because you guys, the sun doesn't like them that much.
Yeah,
It's just a
they
fact.
have a problem. They have a problem
That's
with the
just
sun.
a fact. Okay,
But yet they love the sun. They trying to be black. They just don't want to be black. Anyway, final story. Ding, 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 ding. I mean, we might talk about something else, but final story. Hey, and just in case you're worried about that whole whites only community, go to rep2025.org, because we got reasons why you don't want to, why you might not want to be here. And we got a plan. So check it out, rep2025.org. Check out the plan, sign the petition, do all that sort of stuff, because clearly, as we seem to highlight week after week, there are more than enough reasons for us to not want to be here any longer. And if that's you, then we might have some plans for you that you might want to get in on.
Early.
Our girl Candace Owens is back in the news, and she also, like old Trumpy. Well, Trump actually did the suing this one time, but she got sued for running her mouth about the French president, Emmanuel Macron, and his wife Brigitte filed a lawsuit. Apparently, Candace Owens has been going in on them, talking real spicy about the French president, and he basically said, okay, I gave you chances to shut up about it, but you wanted to keep running your lip. Now we're going to go to court. Apparently he's making she's making some inferences that Brigitte may not have been born Brigitte, but Barry or something. So I don't know Brigitte from a hole in the wall. I wouldn't know if she came up and smacked me. But apparently old Candace has been saying some things that Brigitte may have been born with some extra appendages. And yeah. Any thoughts on that? I mean, listen, Candace, she's a complicated person. You know, she sold us out. Then she seemed like she was trying to get back into the community. I don't know if this is just her way of achieving notoriety, because, you know, we live in the time where people are always trying to get the algorithm to have people click on them. So I don't know if this is her time to get clicks and likes, or if she really believes what she's saying. But if she does believe it, she better be prepared to back it up in court, because they filed a lawsuit for libel and some other things.
Well, yeah,
any thoughts for our sister, quote unquote, in air quotes, our sister Candace Owens?
Yeah, Candace is she plays both sides, and she only plays the black side when it's convenient or when the white side is not looking too good. You know, and she calls herself, exactly, she cosplays black when it's, you know, the white people and the Republicans, they not liking me too much. And, you know, and I watch Candace, not so much lately, but I will watch her from time to time just to, you know, she's a great journalist. She's got some projects. This was one of them. She launched a full out investigation on Brigitte. Is it Brigitte? I can't. I don't
know. It looks like Brigitte.
Yeah, Brigitte. Yeah, she launched a full out thing, and she was saying that this is his brother. She was saying this is Macron's brother or something, or basically it was
really?
She was saying that this woman was born a man, and there's a relation there somewhere. Either her.
Oh, that's right. That she said that they were related somehow.
It's a big defamation thing. It's like major accusations, major. And, you know, Candace Owens has a huge platform. I think 4 million Twitter followers, couple million subscribers. People see her stuff. And for her to have, you know, went this hard, my question, though, is for what? It was kind of like, you know, is the juice worth the squeeze? Like,
yeah, for the French president? I mean, really?
That's like, what's the takedown of the French president about? That's the part that, you know, because you went through all of this. Was it just I don't know, a hot story you wanted to pursue. Whatever the case, this is major because they have the money, they have the lawyers.
Mhm.
Do you? It
We
goes
gonna
back
find
to what was the we were talking, I think, last week or 2 weeks, who got hit with a lawsuit and they're gonna need big pockets to, Elon. Is Elon suing somebody or somebody
Well,
who we said, oh no, it was our black journalist brother.
Don Lemon? Was it
Don
him?
Lemon. Don Lemon suing Twitter.
That's
Suing
right. That's
X.
right. That is right. That is right.
So we announced last week that Don Lemon was suing X. Now, X has all the money in the world. Don Lemon is okay. Even if you're okay financially, I mean, so let's just put it in this perspective with Candace. All right, Candace, you got a couple dollars. Can you actually support a lawsuit with the president of France?
Yeah.
So
probably
they could drain you. They could drain you of everything that you have. And the question is, if it happens, if we look back a year, 2 years, and this goes on, what was it all for? Did you didn't go and snag a big wolf and take down somebody who, listen, y'all, I risked everything to reveal to y'all the truth. The people needed to know. It's like, what? We didn't care. Nobody asked for this, as Governor Tim Walz said. Nobody wants this. Nobody asked for this. And you have put your whole political career and professional persona on the line. So this is gonna be big for her. I don't know how she gets out of it, because lawsuits are not good, especially with powerful people.
Absolutely. And Emmanuel Macron, just as a side note, made big news actually yesterday by actually identifying Gaza as or Palestine as a state, I believe, or Gaza as a state. So French, and of course, the orange guy, of course, wasn't happy about that. So
and to the point, Candace she kind of jumped off. She started. You saw her really, really close with MAGA. Then, okay, something happened probably a little while ago, and it was like they weren't so close, and then they kind of got a little close again, and then this latest thing with her finding, a lot of people finding out that, MAGA's or Trump is backing Israel, and then she came off that. So she's constantly kind of hot and cold with MAGA, and when she doesn't have MAGA as a base for her rhetoric, she kind of comes, is the Breakfast Club taking interviews? And next thing you know, we're seeing her on these platforms. It just seems very convenient, like when she shows up to the black audience, like, all right, y'all, y'all know I had good intentions. Yeah. So we don't believe you.
We're sending her to that whites only community over in Arkansas. She can have the unseasoned chicken and the raisins and the potato salad.
Absolutely.
She can join them. But anyway. We good accomplishment today. Got through all the stories. There was one that was actually missing. I thought I had on here. Tesla's results came out this week, and just a nod to Elon. They're still bad. just to summarize the story.
Hit that clap sound effect if you got it. Slap it up for Tesla continuing to financial reports continuing to underperform. God is good.
Yes, amen. All the time. Yes, indeed. So Tesla is having their troubles, and and it's breaking me up personally. I mean, if you can't see it, in my eyes, it's breaking me up. But anyway,
did you see the Tesla diner?
The who?
Did anybody? Hey, co-host, did y'all see? Hey, Marak, if you can you Google the Tesla diner? No. So apparently, I just saw this yesterday. Oh, goodness. So they've launched a diner, and it's crazy because it's built. It's already running, where it's like an all-night diner. It's called the Tesla Diner, and if you have a Tesla, you can basically stay all night and eat there. After 2 a.m., if you don't have a Tesla, you can't eat there. And it's like, who thought of this? Who the heck?
What?
Yo, are we laundering money now or something? Like, we just got money we got to get. There's no way. Look at this. It looks like the Jetsons. It's like a futuristic style diner.
It's like a drive-in theater almost.
Exactly.
Like.
Exactly.
Okay. So they stole Sonic's idea, but made it a Tesla thing.
Yep. The Tesla diner. So I'm kind of like, as a multi-billion-dollar company, where does this come in the strategy? Like, where does it just seems like we got a couple there doing stuff. We're losing money. People are burning our cars. Let's put up a diner.
I mean, this might fall into the category of you've got more money than you know what to do with. I mean, okay, it's only going to cost us a few $1 million. Let's build a drive-in theater and call it a diner that you can get burgers at and sit and charge your car.
As long as you have a Tesla.
Yeah.
At 2 a.m., if you don't have a Tesla, you're asked to leave.
So what happens after 2 a.m. that only Tesla people can see? Is this where they have the meat? Is this where they put the cloths on their heads? And I don't know. I'm just
something happens after
2 a.m.
2 a.m.
Nothing good happens after midnight is what the old folks used to say. But I'm sure nothing good is happening after 2 a.m. at the Tesla diner.
No, I just thought that was with you bringing up that they're losing money. It just this seems like, okay, let's just start doing.
Where is this place anyway?
I don't know. Can anybody see where the Tesla diner is?
You got to figure California, right?
Looks like a California spot.
Or maybe Tesla's in Texas.
Yeah, it might be Texas because Elon don't get down too big with California anymore.
That's true.
Everybody that helped them get big, helped them get rich. All the states that helped them really get rich. The liberal states, environmentally friendly, climate change, all of that. I don't know.
You think we should do a remote show from the Tesla diner? Maybe fly everybody out to the Tesla diner, have a show wherever it is, and do a show from Tesla diner. We should maybe have the show at 1:30 in the evening and in the morning rather, and see if they kick us out after 2. I'd
act a fool. No, I would absolutely act a fool in the Tesla diner. I think for comic relief, the country would appreciate it. Like, food probably ain't even good.
Listen.
Hey, look, he's cooking in the back of a Tesla. All right, let's go. Listen,
foolishness.
Y'all know later in the hour we're in with the foolishness, but yes, we are very, very happy that Tesla. Look, I joke with my dad. Everybody who attaches themselves to President Trump, they just lose. It's like
you're a loser.
It's like we go from Giuliani, Michael Cohen went to jail.
Yeah. Wait till the next time.
It's a continued losing. Companies losing billions of dollars, and it's like we're still, Hulk Hogan. You're dead. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Did we mention that Hulk Hogan passed? Okay.
All right, that's it, y'all. A little mention of Hulk Hogan passed. And so everybody, who attaches to him, it's just, I don't see what the win is. When are we going to start winning? He keeps posting, are y'all tired of winning yet? When did we start? When do we start?
You got to love it. Listen, we're joking, making light of some stuff that's just craziness. There's all types of stuff. Thank you, Pamela. Located in Hollywood. All right. We can go to Hollywood, go to the Tesla. Well, if we're going to Hollywood, we'd probably go to Roscoe's first. I don't think I'm going to the Tesla diner to eat.
Definitely not. Roscoe's be the first place.
Go get some waffles and chicken from Roscoe's before we go to the Tesla diner. But anyway, I digress. Hey, we've had a great time here this week in Black America. Lots of serious subjects that are on our agenda, but we have to kind of make light of them because you can't get too bogged down. Otherwise, it's going to depress you seeing all the stuff that's going on. But be watchful, stay woke. Make sure you understand what's happening around you. And if you don't understand, tune in with us every Friday at noon. We're going to break it down for you, bring you the latest news that affects our community, and we'll talk about it. We'll laugh about it. We may even tell a couple jokes about it, but we want you to be aware because it's serious. There's a lot of things going on that you just need to know. Otherwise, it'll take you by surprise, and we don't want that to happen. We want our community to be aware, to know what their options are, and to stay ready so that they don't have to get ready. And any final thoughts that you may have, Brother Deshone? It's been a great show today. Lots to talk about. Hey, I want to say happy birthday to my dad today. It's his birthday. I think he's 82 today. So shout out to the senior Curtis Cheatham. Doubt that he's listening, but it's okay.
Thank you, Elder Cheatham.
Yes,
because without you, we wouldn't have our wonderful big brother Curtis Cheatham. And shout out to you guys, our co-hosts. Again, you guys make this show wonderful. We have a lovely time. We talk about serious subjects, but it doesn't feel as serious when we're speaking and laughing. And so we invite you every week here on Friday at noon. And hit the like button if you enjoyed it, because when you hit the like button, it does let the algorithm know that you enjoyed the show, and it brings more people over here later. And shout out to Get Black With Me, exercising the buddy system. That's and bringing right. Bringing a new co-host, Dorlisa, over, and we appreciate it. Thank you so much. We see you, Pamela. Thank you, Anita. Thank you, Engine. Welcome. Whatever platform you're on, just hit that like button, and it does matter. It makes a huge difference. So that's all I got.
Absolutely, we appreciate you, and we hope you appreciate us as well. Either way, we're going to be here again next week. We're going to give it another try and keep you up to date on what's going on. We encourage you, of course, to look in on the other things that we've got going on, that rep2025.org site. Check it out. Join the call. There are some things going on in the background that we think you should be aware of that could potentially impact you. So definitely you want to go to jointhecall.org or the rep2025.org websites and check that out and make yourself aware of what's going on. And that's it for us this week on This Week in Black America. Hope you'll make the time to join us again next Friday at 12, and we'll try and do it again at that time. Thanks for joining us. And that's it for us this week on This Week in Black America.